Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Janae for those who are new here, and if you are not new here, welcome back. Okay, so I've been asked to do a lock count since my first video. So I want to do a lock count for you all and then talk a little bit about my hair density and just hair density and lock size overall. Also, if you're not following me on Instagram, you're missing out. It is _YAHN artistry on IG. Follow me, join the family over there too. To the video.
As you guys watch me count my locks, I just want to make a note that I recently did my own refill once again. Okay, your girl learned how to do acrylics at home. I actually been doing my nails for the last 4 months, and who pays the deposit? I said this in the last video. Listen, so if you guys see me using my hands all through the video, that is why, because I'm going to show off this first set. If you would like to grab a couple of things that I use for my nails, it will be linked below in my Amazon storefront.
I have 92 locks. Woo! That is the final number. I have never combined or separated any of my locks. So all of my original parting is the same parting that I have today, which I'm very excited about because that made me feel kind of validated and vindicated in my decisions on how I parted my hair in the beginning. So I'm glad that I haven't had to combine just yet, but we never know what the lock journey might hold in the future. But yes, so just because I have 92 locks doesn't mean that you lock your hair and have 92 locks is going to look the same. So I know that sometimes people ask about lock count because they want to know how their hair is going to look when they lock their hair. But realistically, all of our hair is going to look different. I know that's annoying and cliche when you're starting your locks or when you're thinking about starting your locks about what size and you're deciding what size you want to get. Sometimes knowing the number will make you feel a lot better, and also having an idea of how your locks might turn out will make you feel a lot more comfortable about the journey. Because typically when we all decide to get a hairstyle, we all roughly know what the hairstyle is going to look like, right? So I understand the need or the desire to want to know lock count. However, here is the downside about lock. Lock count doesn't necessarily mean that your locks are going to be a specific way. For example, I have a medium to low density hair, and I also have fine hair strands. So because of that, my locks at the top, I have medium density hair, and then on the sides I have a lower density. So because of that, my hair at the top looks a little bit fuller. However, if I was to pull my hair up on a half up, half down, the top of my hair will look a lot fuller than the sides and the back, because I just have more hair at the top. If you have a higher density around the sides of your hair and a lower density at the top, the volume of your hair is going to be a little bit different than mine. And vice versa. If you have fuller, thicker hair and a higher density hair, then the volume of your locks are going to be a lot fuller. Let me break it down even more.
Hey again, it's voiceover me here. So if you look at the top of my hair, I have medium density hair. The parts are not super wide, but they're also not super close either. It's right in the middle. Compare this to the sides of my hair. You see how wide and more sparse my parting is. Now this lock is relatively medium parting size. And look how small the actual lock is, because that is a more low density part. This hair is around the same size part. However, the lock is a lot thicker. And this is the difference between those two locks. As you notice, they are vastly different in size because of my hair density.
Hair density is described by how many hairs you have per square inch. So let's just say somebody that has 2,000 hairs per square inch, their locks are going to be a little bit fuller than someone who has 700 hairs per square inch. However, if you have fine or lower density hair, there's no need to be hesitant about the lock journey, because typically your locks are going to be a lot easier to style. You have a lot more versatility because you may not have thicker locks. Just because you have thick hair doesn't mean that your actual locks are thick. The smaller the parts, typically the smaller the locks. The fuller the parts or the thicker the parts, the fuller the locks. So if you do want thick locks, just make thicker parting. Your locks are going to be a lot fuller than what it would be if you had smaller parting. Fineness of your hair strands also takes a little bit of account in it as well. I have fine hair. What that means is, for somebody who has hair the size of like a shoestring, I would have hair the size of like a piece of yarn or string, right? So how thick or thin your actual hair is will also take into account how full your locks look. However, again, just because you have finer hair doesn't mean that your locks won't be full and luscious as well. It may not be as full as somebody who has a higher density hair, but that doesn't matter because your locks are going to fit your head and are going to look right for you. I was super nervous about starting my lock journey because I knew that when I had loose natural hair, I did not have the thickest hair. I had very fine hair and I did not have the highest density hair either. So my biggest fear was that my locks were going to look very sparse and scalpy and things like that. However, that is not the case. Your locks are going to double and for some people triple in size. So how your twists look are not going to be how your locks look. The reason why your locks double in size is only because all that shed hair that typically will comb out of your hair when you're a loose natural, all that shed hair is staying inside of your hair, and it's kind of like a conveyor belt, right? So the shed hair comes out of your head, it stays into the lock, it wraps around the lock, and then it just stays. So again, don't worry about your hair looking very fine and very thin and things like that. Don't look at somebody else's lock journey and look at how many locks they have and assume that your hair is going to look that way because it's not necessarily true. However, if it's somebody that has a very similar density of hair of yours and a very similar hair texture in a sense of fine or thick hair, then maybe your hair will look similar to theirs. I had to go and find people who had fine hair, and that's how I felt comfortable in my lock journey because I saw how beautiful their locks were, and it made me feel a lot more confident in what my lock journey was going to be because I saw people who also had fine hair and their lock journeys turned out extremely beautiful. A couple names inside the description box of people that I follow that definitely helped me along my lock journey. Just know I am also a fine hair queen. I am also a low to medium density hair queen. So you are not alone in this. Although, again, my locks might appear a lot fuller only because they are mature. But this is not how my locks look. Your locks are going to come in all shapes and sizes. So you have to embrace the journey and just it is what it is. A couple things in my lock journey to try to aid and make sure that my locks did lean on the fuller side. I will definitely make a video about how to make fine locks a little bit fuller. Definitely make a video on that. Well, I hope that this was kind of helpful. I now know that I have 92 locks. I never really counted my locks like that before, so I'm glad that I had an excuse to do it. I hope some of this stuff was kind of helpful with kind of like knowing what your locks are going to look like. Honestly, girl, just accept it for what it is. Understand that your locks are going to be perfect for you. And just know you're going to have like physical growth with your hair, but the emotional and spiritual growth and mental growth you're going to have during this lock journey does not compare. That's all I have for you guys. Please leave any questions or comment below. Love talking to you guys in the comment section. So again, thanks for joining, and I will see you guys in the next video.